Assalamualaikum, my name is Ahmad Ali Rahimi bin Zamzuri Arifin, metric number 2092019668302. Okay, I will present the task 2 about the schedule of rate for major item and rental rate for office building. For introduction, cost database. Cost database is used for cost estimating information and usually used with type construction estimating software. There are many types of cost database. It is include cost for book cost book, for example schedule of rate. It can be present the tender document, so the contractor and the quantity surveyor will use the schedule of rate to get the price of item for construction to fill in the tender document. Okay, the schedule of rate. Schedule of rate is the schedule that lists the various item of work or construction materials such as cement, brick wall, brick, sand, reinforcement, and the others material of the construction and the others construction material. The function of the schedule of rate to facilitate or guide the QS to pricing the bill of quantity, to pricing the price of the building. So QS will use the schedule of rate to pricing the building, and our contractor also use the schedule of rate to fill in the BQ or fill in the tender. The schedule of rate consists a group of items such as building work, excavation work, concrete work, and the others item. The schedule of rate is prepared by Central Public Work Department (CPWD), state by the government. Usually, to get the schedule of rate of the government project, they can get the schedule of rate from the JKR. Okay, this is the example of the schedule of rate. So you can see the example of the schedule of rate. Okay, the rental value for the office building. The rental value of the office building is the fair market value property, while the rental out lease. The rental value is consideration paid under lease. For the right, for the contrary, rental value is called the fee that need to pay by rented or user to the owner of the property or owner of the building. So, to determine the rental value of the building that need to rented, is the owner of the building need to check the condition of the building and also environment of the building. The value of building based on the condition of the building. So to determine the value of the office building, they need to check the condition of the building, such as the structure, internal structure, and also the external structure. The owner of the building need to check the utility system for the building, such as the electrical supply and water supply, to make sure it is in a good condition. The rental value of the office building also influenced by the gross floor area (GFA), the overall space of the building. The user usually focus on the usable area to rent the building. So they calculate the usable areas such as bedroom, corridor, and also lobbies. So to make sure the value of the office building is depends on the GFA of the building. The maintenance of the building also influence the rented value of the building, because usually the cost for the maintenance of the building is under the rented or user. So they need to maintain the building every year. So the consideration about the value of the office building is depend on the maintenance also.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I am Muhammad Akmal bin Yahya. We will present to you about the methodology, which is about the process of how we collect the data. Okay, there is a process involved in compiling the data. Okay, firstly, we will observe the type of cost data used in construction industry. Okay, the term construction covers a wide variety of activity. This includes the non-residential buildings and civil engineering works such as roads, bridges, dams. Construction industry also encompass repairs, renovation, rehabilitation and maintenance of existing structure. The complexity of construction activity is the cause of one of the main problems in construction cost data collection, that of comparability. The demand for the cost data arises and a quantity surveyor needs those readily available from the start of project to the post-construction and future project. Okay, secondly, we will choosing two types of cost data, which is firstly, schedule of rates for measured item. Okay, schedule of rate for measured item is the schedule of total measured cost that can be seen and calculated during construction. Okay, second, rental rates for office building. Okay, the cost of rent the office building for a month is based on the design and place of the building. Okay, this is other process involved in compiling the data. Thirdly, start the process of collecting data. In collecting data, there are many resources that people can access to get the cost data. There are three types of resources of sources of information, which is primary data, secondary data and tertiary data. One of the easiest way to access the data is from secondary data. Secondary data is from National Construction Cost Center by CIDB, Building Cost Information Service Malaysia by RISM. The data of the two type cost data chosen is collecting data by secondary sources, which is National Construction Cost Center by CIDB. My and 3C consists of building cost data, which is the average building cost components for building material price, labor rates, machinery hire rates, and equipment purchase. Okay, lastly, compiling the data to establish a proper cost database. Detailed information about cost data and related to it needs to be compiled. After schedule rates of measured item and rental rates for office building are collected, it was compiled and shown in a form of table and histogram to show the range of cost and it interpreted in a systematic way. The compilation of the cost data is categorized based on the years and location. Okay, in methodology, there are also limitations of the cost data. Firstly, difficulty in collecting cost data. Cost data is the important tools in order to make an estimate for the project. Without cost data, estimation cannot be done by the quantity surveyor. However, there is difficulty in collecting data. It is because mostly data that had on internet are private to access, so QS need a permission in order to access. Okay, secondly, limited material use. The limitation of cost data is the material that's be demand or proposed by client. The client will have proposed to use the material that's be important for the other country of the rare material. These material are not the common use by the construction industry in Malaysia. Quantity surveyor are difficult to find the data regarding to the limited material used in construction, so the QS needs to do some research for having a data. Okay, lastly, lack of practice. Collecting cost data needs an experience in order to make estimation for the proposed project. This is important to make the estimate are accurate. This is because QS must know where to obtain the approved data and what to do during the estimation. Okay, that's all from me in methodology. Thank you.
It's Muhammad Hakimi bin Rosdi. Today, I will represent to you about the usage of data. The usage of cost data. Planning is the one of the biggest tasks for quantity surveyor in construction work. Cost data are providing the information of rates for major items, rental rates for occurred, planning the budgets that had for the construction. Quantity surveyors can allocate all budget from office building and other costs that's involved in construction. The cost data that quantity surveyor had the client for estimation of life cycle costs. Plan outline and detail costs. The quantity surveyor can use the available costs to make the plan, outline and detail costs during the design stage. The design may perform along with the costs associated with each alternative. Once the design has already made by architect, a quantity surveyor can plan outline costs of material that be used in design. From the available cost data, the data required for the material use is available and the data are already updated to the current rates. Comparison of costs. A quantity surveyor can use the cost data to make comparison of costs, but not only to obtain the actual cost, but to make the comparison on the alternative or item that have similar function, or comparison of building with different design. As an example, if the client wants to build an office building, the quantity surveyor will look at the cost data available for the office building. Controlling the cost. Cost data can be obtained in many resources and multi-choice. Due to that problem, the cost that be obtained can be adjusted by individual for his purpose. That's why the cost that begin must have approval from the source and the own company before proceeding to other stage. It also could limit the individual control.
Hello, my name is Mr. Gary. Today I will present the database schedule of rate for measurement item. Okay, for the first slide is ready mixed concrete rate 25 in meter cube. We can see here in 2019 the pricing, the highly price in Sarawak, Kuching, Sarawak is about 263.53 cents, and follow up by Selangor only 178.97 cents, and Perak is quite the same, with only a few cents more cheap from Selangor is 170.33 cents. The very cheap for the price ready mixed concrete is Kota Kinabalu is 163 ringgit only. Okay, we can see for the 2018 the cheaper price is Perak only 153 ringgit 33 cents, and the more expensive that in 2018 is Kota Kinabalu is about 275 ringgit 33 cents. Okay, and we see for the 2016 the Kota Kinabalu is about 333 ringgit 90 cents. The price for ready mixed concrete. This is a very higher, more expensive on that years. And then the price from Kota Kinabalu every year come forward, they're going downward. Next slide is my steel rod bar per diameter per metric ton. You can see in 2019 the Kota Kinabalu have a more expensive compared with 3 regions. This is a steel default bar per diameter per metric ton. Here you can see Kota Kinabalu was the more expensive my steel material compared with the 3 regions Selangor, Perak and Kuching. For roof material is interlocking concrete high standard per pieces. The interlocking tie standard for roofs show the pricing more expensive in 2017 for Sarawak only is 3 ringgit per pieces. In 2018, Sarawak show the price more expensive compared with Perak. Selangor and Kota Kinabalu is about 2 ringgit 50 cent per piece. 2019 Kota Kinabalu more expensive. This year are 2 ringgit 43 per pieces, and Selangor show the cheaper price is 1 ringgit 84 cent per page. Kuching only 2 ringgit 40 per piece, and Perak only 2 ringgit 23 cent per piece. For this roof material, we can see Kota Kinabalu and Kuching have same price is 72 ringgit 97 cent, and Selangor is 65 ringgit 70 cent, and Perak is 63 ringgit 97 cent. Perak is more cheaper. Next is the Eurostep roofing. We can see here Kota Kinabalu, the more expensive price per meter square is 55 ringgit 33 cent. Kuching is 54 ringgit 61 cent, and Selangor and Perak is the more cheaper price.
In 2018, the rental rate for office at 3 states, which are Selangor, Perak, and Sarawak, is quite stable for the year. But in Selangor, state the highest rental rate for the office building due to the location factor, where the office itself is placed at the city area. But in Sarawak and Perak, the prices are far cheaper compared to Selangor. Other than that, the population is huge in Selangor compared to Perak and Sarawak. That can affect the demand of the office itself. In 2019, there are a bit different rental price in Selangor at the fourth quarter of the year. That is because of the strategic location. Due to public transportation connectivity on that year is better than before, that can make the community choose to have an office at the strategic area. While in Perak, the price is still consistent, but there are a minor increase, but not that much in Perak. For Sarawak, the rental rate for the office building is the cheapest among 3 of the states. Based on William Tarhal Wong in 2018 mentioned that in year 2019 has a weaker consumer sentiment remain challenging for the property section in 2019, especially to offload all stock. That cause in 2019, the rental rate is decreased a bit compared to year 2018.
Okay, so for the conclusion, cost database are really needed for the construction industry. It is important to get the cost database because any construction such as the schedule of rate is very useful to the quantity surveyor contractor to value or pricing the building. Cost of database is used as a guideline or reference to construction industry for the cost estimating. There are many types of database because database is the most basic element to estimating the cost. So that's all from my group. Thank you, madam.